Hello, my name is Bill Haley for Haley 2024 The Movements, Government Reform Ideas. This video is going to be on selecting your competitive government. So we go to a competitive government system in my government reform ideas. And the way this works will be every citizen and distinctly every business selects their competitive government. So CRAs, competitive regulatory agencies, have legislative, executive, and judicial branches. So they're a full governmental system. So each competitive government is a complete system. There's other systems. There's checks and balances within the whole system. So let's just keep on going for a little bit. And they only govern their members. So CRA, a competitive government, they only govern their members. Somebody else, my neighbor, picks another CRA, another competitive government, and they govern, their competitive government governs theirs and them. So I'm not affected by them. They're not affected by me. As long as we're not causing significant negative externalities, we can continue on having our competitive government. It has to be about it has to be roughly 5% of, well, it has to be limitations of 5% and 20% of the citizens have to be in a competitive government. So you cannot have a competitive government with 1%. It has to be at least 5%. I don't want to go over 20%. Now, if you say I want to have one with 35%, just split it into two with very, very similar set of regulations and let them govern themselves. Every competitive government only governs their members. So important to understand. So we go to competitive police. Now, we do have a system to make sure they cooperate, and we have joint patrols. We do go with competitive school boards. There's a lot to say about that. There'll be new videos on that. We go to competitive regulations on environmental controls. And if you think you can just get away with this polluting, your ratings will follow. There's a whole rating system built in that will show your ratings on all these issues. And it's a competitive rating system, not a monopolized. You get to put your weight behind a rating agency as well, and that will put some weight on what the ratings are. Now, you just have to say what your ratings are, and if the ratings go too low, it will cause significant negative externalities, and you will have to you would have to increase your standards to not have significant negative externalities. And before you even get there, people don't want to go to a food establishment, a restaurant that has low food quality. If it's posted right on the door, you're gonna the customers will shut you down by not going in there. All competitive governments send representatives to create a monopolized government. So all governments, all competitive governments, let's say in the school board sector, because we split all government power into 30 sectors. So let's say the school board, all the school boards, all the competitive governments dealing with education send representatives to create a monopolized government over all the schools. But on education, the monopolized government will have almost zero power. It would be very, very minor, unless somebody's creating negative externalities, which is you don't do with education too much, unless you're just abusing children, or you're not taking care of something, or you're teaching major violence against certain groups and the like. And so it's not going to come in on 99% of the issues. So let's keep on going. But there is an overall group just to oversee the whole thing. So in some sectors, such as the police, that overall group, monopolized board, will have a lot more power than, let's say, over education, than on environmental control or over the roads. On the roads, there'll be competitive roads, but we're going to have a monopolized system to make sure the signs are standardized. We don't want to have green for stop and a red for stop on different roads. So obviously we need some standardization. So monopolized government will do some of that. But the representatives of competitive governments go to that monopolized government. A monopolized government only has control over less than 10% of the issues. Again, that's going to be concentrated into things such as law enforcement, the prisons, and the courts. Not so much over education, not so much over speech and radio stations and TV stations, and there's a lot to go over, and definitely not over charity. Charity, we're going to a total charity system, be a different issue. So monopolized government won't be in a lot of control. They might have a little bit of influence, but not legal influence. Okay. A monopolized government can only have control to deal with a court-proven significant negative externality. So let's go over all those words. It's a lot of words. Court-proven, which means before the monopolized government can take any control over anything, the court has to show, somebody has to show, a competitive government has to show a significant negative externalities happening. One police department is violating civil liberties. That's going to be a major one there. So they're going to say, okay, civil liberties are being violated. That's a significant negative externality. It's proven in court. Monopolized government comes over and makes sure all the police officers are have proper oversight, internal affairs, and they're trained. They go back through training and the like. And if they have to take a badge, the monopolized government can take a badge. But there's another sector for that purpose as well. We're going into a little bit more detail into that one. A rating system will deal with most issues of negative externalities using a rating floors. So most issues of negative externalities are going to be done by just informing the people with a competitive rating system. Highly important to understand it's competitive. A monopolized government needs a 70% vote to have control over the issues. So before that monopolized government has control over anything, it has to be court proven. That's a significant negative externality. Significant, not just a regular negative externality. It has to reach a level. And the rating system will have that make that determination with a 70% vote. So it's not easy. A rating system is a representative body. People pick their rating agencies, and that gives your rating agency your representative power. A monopolized government has to work through competitive governments. So a monopolized government, let's say they have some power, they have to work through their competitive governments, which gives the people who pick that competitive government a little bit more control over what's going on and make sure a monopolized government's not oppressing them. At some point, though, if people are making significant negative externalities, if they're going out there and causing a lot of problems, a monopolized government needs to be able to come in and put a stop to it. This is just one of many reforms within Haley 2024. We split all government power into 30 sectors. We had that representative agencies. I did a video on that recently. We talked about it briefly in here, but there's a lot more reforms. Each area, whether we go from all from welfare to a charity system, which is significant. We go to a competitive free market type of place in courts and prisons with the major oversight, that's monopolized oversight. We go with we split government power into many sectors for the military, the commander-in-chief, and the funding for them and the like. And then we have a lot more on Haley 2024. So this is just one aspect. Pick your competitive government. So everything's easy to find on haley2024.org. Please consider a donation, and until the next video.